Century, Def Leppard from Euphoria on Rockline. Phil and Joe joining us tonight. We have John that we're going to bring into the mix now in the New York City area. Hi, John. How are you?
Hi, Joe. Hi, Phil.
Hi.
Hi, John.
Yes, my question for you is, do you feel sometimes that Def Leppard are the last British hard rock heavy metal band to achieve international success? And do you foresee sometime in the future a new generation of British hard rock heavy metal bands following in your footsteps and past bands like Queen and Zeppelin?
Good question. There hasn't really been a band. I think Bush would be the closest thing to a British band that have actually sold, like, you know, in the millions in recent years that I can think of. I can't think of anybody other than Bush. But in fairness, they only really kind of did it in the States. They didn't really sell that well in Britain, nor did they break Europe or you know, the Far East or anywhere like, as well as we did. And it's hard to say whether it'll ever happen again, because I didn't ever think that it would happen in '79 when it did, you know. And in fairness, it only really happened in the English papers. I mean, there was only us and Iron Maiden that ever actually sold any records anyway. And as Phil can vouch, even though we're using Girl at the time, bands like Girl and Def Leppard, we tried our utmost to actually break away from this supposed new wave of British heavy metal. We didn't want to be part of a movement, and I know that Girl didn't either. Old band.
Absolutely, that's why I wore nail varnish. Was trying to get away
just
from
to get away from the denim and leather thing. And you know, I believe that there's the Mersey sound, and then there's the Beatles. They're nothing to do with each other than just geographically. And it's the same thing with the new wave of British heavy metal. It was a convenient thing for journalists to lump bands into. We tried our hardest to get away from it. So, you know, one day a fantastic band will come out of Britain, but it does seem to have dried up since the days when you had the Kinks and the Stones and the Who and Zeppelin and Queen later on. You know, it's since us, we still are the biggest selling British band in the US. It's even not 20 years now, you know, later.
It's not really part of the British culture either. You know, it's very much an American thing, and I think the divide is growing between, like, what's happening in the UK and Britain and that, and what's happening in the US. It's kind of getting further and further away. So they've got their own thing over there, and it's kind of completely different.
Yeah, that seems to be the case. Yeah, that would be my
It's all boy bands in Britain now. If you're talking top 40, you can't get away from boy bands.
Well, they got them here, but it's just the rock thing. I mean, the whole rock thing in England is indie based. Like, you know, Oasis was the big rock thing, and it's so different to, like, what we would call standard rock, you know, like Zeppelin, Queen, Us, The Who, or Stones even, you know. There's not a lot of that.
Yeah, it's gone away. If they do exist, nobody knows about it. You know, it's so underground at the moment, it's impossible to find information. Even on the web, you can't find a decent, you know, Travis would be the big band, and they are a guitar-based band, but it's not rock as we know it, Jim.
Pat Travis, right?
No, Travis, not Travers.
The Travis are huge. The Stereophonics are huge. None of these bands are crossing over to the States. None of them are coming over here. I mean, even Oasis never really broke the States in a way that we did, or any of the other British bands that, like the Stones or the Kinks or the Who or whoever.
Yeah, that's true. And Iron Maiden was mentioned, and I didn't remember who it was, but someone fell off the stage last night in Iron Maiden and hit head first and was taken to the hospital. So we wish the band well. They had to cancel 3-4 gigs or postpone them. And
oh wow, you're kidding?
Yeah, I think it was Yannick Gers.
Let's wish him well, whoever it is.
Yeah. So
notoriously, it would probably have been Bruce. He'd be the one that would be leaping about most.
No, it was Yannick, I believe. Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah. And
you see, that's it. 3 guitarists, they're tripping up over each other's leads.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Poor guy.
Oh yeah, I can do that better. Get out of my way.
Maybe he was wearing your skates, Bob, and he just couldn't keep.
That must be it. Yeah, that must be it. Yeah. Let me show my skates to the people watching the web tonight. Yeah, good looking skates, aren't they?